As always, everybody, if you have a question for Coach, please utilize the raise your hand feature. Chris Lee, we'll go ahead and start with you.
Hey, Tim, when you're down 4-0 and their pitcher's kind of blown through the first 10 hitters the way he does, what kind of conversations are going on in the dugout? What kind of notes are you guys comparing to maybe get a jump the second time around?
I mean, not much. I mean, we've been in this before. I mean, it's not like 3 innings to find the game. You just have to continue moving through, understanding that momentum turns very quick at the college level, and it did. The kid was pitching well, but he's a young kid too, and understanding that we just needed to get the momentum back, and we did. And I think Mac did that. He tied them up. I think the 5-4-3 in fourth, the first one was kind of a turning point, sent the momentum back into our dugout. And then we got a couple hits. It was like the game started moving. Once we got on the scoreboard, then you felt like, okay, the game's in play again. But the first innings and second innings like that, when you get jumped by a team, it's tough to keep up that momentum for a long period of time, especially in an emotional series.
Adam Sparks.
Yeah, Tim, this is back-to-back rubber games you guys have won against really good teams. What do you think this says about maybe the maturity of this team?
Well, we got a lot of maturing to do. I mean, we're not close to who I think that we think we can be. I mean, I know that. I see what I see. The coaches see what we see, and the players are understanding too. They don't have a distorted view of who they are. They know they're gritty. They know that they'll play tough. They know that they'll compete. But I think anytime you do things like that, you build some fibers in your team, and you build some personality traits that weren't there at the beginning of the year. And sometimes in order to develop those, you need to lose. And, we did that. And middle 2 games last weekend was a step in a great direction. And certainly this one was too. It was just a very difficult team to play. It's an Omaha team. They've got very good pitching. They've got older players. All those older players on their team. We don't have anyone played in experiences like that. Rowdy Jordan isn't shaking anytime. His heartbeat is calm. Tanner Allen, he's calm. I mean, they were in 18 series here. So, it's just a tough team to beat. It's a very difficult team to beat.
And you wanted a good atmosphere, a good home atmosphere. What kind of impact did that make? What did you think of the atmosphere at home this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, it was great. I mean, it's not, I think be careful about because the only thing, I'm only here for one reason, to create some type of environment for the kids. And that's all I care about. I mean, we all do. I mean, that's why we have jobs, is just to create the best possible atmosphere that we can for the kids. And part of that atmosphere is having other people that enjoy what they do. And if they enjoy what they do, their ability to get out here and share that type of energy, it's kind of a boomerang effect. That energy gets down the field, and that energy goes back up to them, and it's combustible at certain times. And we're still not there as a stadium yet, but you know what? For a 40% situation, I thought it was outstanding. Those football players, we're very appreciative of what they did. Those guys hung out all weekend. They didn't have to do that. We owe them. We owe them big time. And I think it's good for both programs, and certainly good for our baseball program. But I was happy that the fans got to see the kids.
Thanks.
Robbie.
Yeah, Tim, with McIlvain and Maldonado, I mean, this isn't even the first time this season where they've held down really good teams in key spots for like extended stretches. So, how have they improved and evolved as players, as sophomores, especially considering that they had the shortened freshman season that wasn't normal?
Yeah, well, I think some of their ability to improve is the fact that they're getting the ball more now. And when you take out a lot of relievers, I mean, we lost a good chunk of our bullpen this past year with, Doolin and Leboki and Miles Garrett and Smitty. I mean, those are 4 guys that we were throwing. So when you don't throw those guys, then the ball gets tossed to McIlvain and Maldonado. And they're certainly certain quality guys, but they benefit from the opportunity to pitch. And, especially McIlvain, the last 3 times out, he's given us length. And the length is what we needed, just because we didn't get the start. And, if that's the worst thing that ever happens to Patrick Riley, then he's going to be a very fortunate guy, because in order to grow in this league, you do need to tumble a little bit. It ain't that easy. And I think Jack's starting to understand that too. It's just very, very difficult when you set that bar so high because of a performance. There's a certain expectation level of everyone around you that you're going to create that same thing. But going back to Mac and Maldonado, it's just they've been very, very steady and they throw strikes.
Chris Lee, back to you.
Hey, Tim, not the first time Carter's come through with big bombs at the right times in SEC play. Just talk about the importance of what he's giving you today and just throughout the conference season.
I think the most important part was the response to last night, because he had a tough night last night. He left the ballpark very disappointed young man. And Dax had a pretty stern talk with him too, just in terms of mentality at the plate. So he came in here like you would want a kid to do and respond in a way, not just because of the big hits, but you know what, you have to be in a right mindset in order to get those big hits. And I thought what was impressive was the swing that he took previous to the home run. It was a breaking ball that was down and in, and then he got to the fastball on time to push it up into right field against the wind was back and forth. It was blowing out at times and it was blowing in at times. So I think the timeliness of what he did and how he did it was good. But I love the response of the kid. I mean, he's a heck of a young player, and he's still very, very young. But boy, there's some examples of some tough play by that kid, and we all appreciate it.
Any more questions for Coach? Great. Coach, thanks for your time.
Yep. Thank you all.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great night.